What's going on, you guys? I am back and I'm going to bring you guys a boot review. The reason why I wanted to bring this video to you is because if you're anything like me, you want a comfortable boot up in the mountains. You don't want blisters, and I know some of that has to do with socks that you wear. Maybe that'll be a video for another day. But comfortable boot can make the difference in you going 12 miles and you going 18 to 20 miles. I mean, truly. So I wanted to break down the boot that I'm running for 2023. I wanted to also, just make sure you guys understand that before grabbing this boot, okay, and trying this boot, which this is the Cresta Alta GTX by Zamberlan. It's primarily an Upland boot, okay, but before grabbing this off the shelf and running with it for 2023, I've been a fan of Crispy. So I've gone through like 4 or 5 pairs of Crispies. That was the Nevada boot, the Bristol boot, and I believe those are the only two, and the Utah boot. So I've tried 3 different types of Crispies, which great boot, comfortable boot, but they don't hold up very long, and that was my big drawback from shifting away from Crispies, getting into the Zamberlan boots. I've heard really, really good things about this boot. And before the Crispies, I was actually running Kenetreks. And, Kenetreks, I think they're a really, really awesome, well-built boot. I think that boot is going to last you probably the longest out of all of the boots that I just broke down for you, or I just shared with you. And there's probably other brands out there as well that other people like. I actually have a pair of Scarpa boots on order, and I'll definitely bring you guys a review on them as well. But to get into the video, this boot that Zamberlan makes is primarily going to be an Upland boot. I bought this boot right around 4 months ago. Yeah, about 3.5 to 4 months ago. And to be honest, I haven't taken them off. This is my daily. I started wearing this boot every single day, every day I can at least. It's been awesome. Again, it is an Upland boot, is what they call for it on their website. It's got that leather, it's got that dark leather material. So it's a leather boot with the Gore-Tex edges, which kind of cups the heel, cups the toe, which you're going to see in a lot of your mountaineering boots. So it's not a fully waterproof boot. It's a semi-waterproof boot. I haven't got my feet wet, and right now it is tons of snow out of my local area. I've used this boot chucker hunting. I've done a lot of chucker hunting in it. I probably put, just chucker hunting alone, I've probably put, I'd say 40, 80 miles, 90 miles on this boot already, just chucker hunting. And then the rest has been, just bouncing around town and whatnot. And if you hear my dog barking, what the hell, I wish I could go out there and make her stop, but I can't. But at the end of the day, the boot has been insanely comfortable. So one thing that I'll mention right off the bat is the comfort level of this boot compared to any other boot that I've tried has been the best. I mean, this boot has a 10 out of 10 in comfort. I mean, it shocked me actually. And just so you guys know my stature, everyone's got a little bit different, shoe size and foot size, and I understand that. But for me, a guy that runs usually a 9.5 daily shoe, doesn't have a giant foot. I don't have a giant foot. I have a pretty small foot, I'd say, comparatively to a lot of people out there. But at the end of the day, for me, this boot is insanely comfortable, and my feet don't overheat. So like when I'm out hiking and hunting around, they don't overheat, which I really haven't had too big of an issue with that in any of my boots, just because I usually buy them uninsulated. The reason why I buy them uninsulated is because I do a lot of hiking and hunting, and a lot of the stuff that I personally do is mule deer early season. I'm an archery hunter. I go on elk hunts. I do it all. I hunt all year round, but the majority of what I do is outside of the snow. And I have had cold toes in this boot, so I don't consider this being a great winter boot. If you're going to go out hiking around in the mountains in deep snow, it's probably not the boot that I'd go with. But for an everyday boot around town, I think this boot is better. It's literally the best boot I think that you could probably get in regards to comfort. And again, from what I've experienced, this boot, it cups your heel really, really well. So you can't really see this right now, but this heel really cups your foot. And I think the more reviews you go on and you read about this boot, you're going to notice that everyone says that it really has a great contour and fit to your foot. And I have to say that that's totally true. This boot is like, it's like the Lamborghini of boots, or the Ferrari of boots. I mean, it is a really, really comfortable fitting boot, and it tightens up really, really nice. Again, before, when I was going back and forth and trying to figure out what boot I was going to run, I had looked at the boot with it's a BOA system, which, let me go over here, grab it really quick for you. Because I did get these for my girlfriend, because she's always got a problem tightening her boots, which women, you know, is non-biased way. But this is the boot that I'm talking about. I don't know the name of this boot, but it's a pretty cool boot. It's got that BOA system in it, right? So it tightens everything down. I didn't like this boot when I tried it on, just simply because we couldn't get this front over the top of your foot tight. I couldn't get it to work really well. So I went a different route, and I ended up just getting laces because it made better sense. But for my girlfriend, this is perfect for her, because she can't ever tighten her boots by herself. She's got to, you know, she's got to tighten them up 3 or 4 times throughout the hunt. And that boot, you know, solves that issue, and it's super easy and simple. So I didn't go with that boot. I went with this boot, again, because of kind of quite a few different things. One, it said Upland boot. It said it's an Upland boot. I'm pretty sure they call this their Upland boot. And I do a ton of upland hunting, so I was like, hey, well, why don't I give it a try? And the cool thing about this is I bought this without ever trying it on. So I tried this boot on, but I really liked how it felt in my, like how my heel kind of slipped into that. It's like a little cup in the rear here, and you can even kind of tell it's cupped, and it's super nice. And this is a nice, durable, you know, you could tell there's some sort of structuring in there, whether that's hard rubber or if there's actually like a little light piece of carbon or aluminum in there. The boot itself has been, you know, super comfortable, and that's one thing I gotta say is, for buying these boots and never trying them on, and just putting them on right out of the box, they haven't made my feet sore at all. They're really, really comfortable. I've enjoyed them. They have, again, a soft leather, which, gosh, I like the soft leather. I mean, you know, if you go a full Gore-Tex boot, again, you're probably going to want to be finding a different type of boot, or a different boot that Zamberlan makes. But overall, it's got the, you know, the Vibram soles, which 99% of the boots you're going to see out there have that. It's got really, really good traction on it. I mean, it's a really great hiking boot. I haven't had any complaints with this boot of walking around in the, you know, in the hills with it. It's a little bit taller boot. So if you noticed like a pair of Crispies, their short boots are probably 1.5 to 2 inches lower, right? Shorter than this. So you're looking at one more ring down on your Crispy boots from what I've experienced in the short boots. And then when you look at their tall boots, I mean, they're another 2 inches beyond this. So you don't have an in between. And I'm a guy that has a long torso, short legs. So, you know, my calf, the problem with running a tall, long boot is my calf, you're tightening the top down on my calf, not my ankle. And this boot has solved that problem for me, right? Because now I actually get ankle support without having to go too much higher into my calf. So I really, really like that about the boot too. If you short guys know what I'm talking about, or people with short torsos, short legs, this boot solved that problem for me. I would just tell you that overall, this boot, for an upland boot or maybe an early season boot, although I am giving this review in the winter, this boot is the boot that I would say you should totally suggest trying. It is pricey. I mean, you're looking at a $490 pair of boots. You know, I know that for a lot of people is like, oof, that's a lot, but you're investing into something that's going to help you go further, longer. You know, it's going to be more comfortable. I mean, you want a really comfy boot that's not going to cause issues in the mountains, especially if you're going in the backcountry. Like, spend the money on the boot. I see a lot of my buddies actually have purchased just crappy boots, and I mean, constantly having issues with blisters, constantly having issues with them coming untightened. I mean, that's something you can solve with buying a high quality boot like this. So Zamberlan, you've got my attention with these boots. I'm excited to try different boots that Zamberlan offers. Even maybe an insulated boot. I know that there's a few different insulated boots that they offer that are like top notch. There's something that I'm interested in, so I'm gonna try that. And again, you know, as you guys learn more about boots and try different boots on, this might not be the boot for you, but for me, you know, again, it has been probably my most comfortable boot that I've ever tried on. Aside from the Kenetrex, aside from the Crispies, I've even put Danners on my feet. These boots are by far the most comfortable boot that I've ever tried on. They do have, you know, a little bit of padding down in your sole, which is super nice. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, when you're checking out these boots, go try them on at a store if you can, or just any Zamberlan boot. What you're going to find is you're going to be a whole size lower. So, you know, I run a 9.5 usually. Well, this boot, I actually fit in an 8, which that sounds crazy, but I don't know what it is. I talked to the guy at the SHOT Show at the booth, and he said that that's normal. If you run, you know, a 9 in men's, maybe it's a 9 wide in men's, you're going to run an 8 wide in this boot. Or if you run a 12, you're going to run an 11. Or if you're in a 12.5, you're still going to probably run an 11. So definitely make sure to, you know, try them on before order them, or you're going to be like really disappointed, because they do run bigger. So check them out. I think that you're going to really like them. Again, this is the Alta. I wrote it down here. Cresta Alta GTX boot. It's their Upland boot, and I think you're really going to like them. So hopefully this helps you guys make a decision. I think you need to try these on if you're trying to figure out what boot is best for you. If you don't have these at least on your, you know, to try list, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, literally, you might have issues because you didn't buy this boot. And I'll bring you guys, like I said, another review after I try the Scarpa boots. But I've got 80 miles on this boot right now, and as you can see, I cleaned them up before this video, but I still have plenty of traction, right? It hasn't even touched, so they're definitely holding up so far. The problem with those Crispies, I was going through them. I went through a pair every single year, you know, almost 2 pairs a year. And I hunt a lot, and we go out and we hike a lot, but I think that's a little excessive when we're talking about, you know, $250 pair of boots. So this is double the money, but I'm hoping that it's going to give me double the life, and so far, I absolutely love them. And I think that you will love them as well if you try them on, you get your size, you get fitted, you're not going to have any complaints. And especially for you guys that wear boots on a daily. If you wear boots on a daily, pick this boot up, put it on. It's going to blow your mind. I'll link in the description the direct link to this boot. I don't make any money on that or anything like that. It's just so you guys can check them out. I think you'll like them and enjoy them. So with that, you guys, I'm done here. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully this will help you choose a boot to wear. This is the Cresta Alta GTX Upland boot from Zamberlan. It's a summer boot more than it is a winter boot. It does have Gore-Tex rears. It is all leather, which that helps with the water resistance, but it's not a fully waterproof boot, but it does the work, and no issues, no complaints. Got to say, like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the content and you want more of these types of videos. I always like to know what you guys want, and ultimately I want to bring you guys as many good quality videos as possible. So hopefully these just keep getting better, but the only way you're going to find out is if you subscribe and you guys follow my content for more.